that some 4 to 5 million Americans have had their current health care policies canceled. A lot more folks will have lost health insurance than have gained it under Obamacare. That looks like the forecast. Anyway, let's talk. We have Democratic strategist Steve McMahon, and we have Emily Miller, Washington Times opinion page senior editor. Emily, go to you first. Welcome. Thank you for coming on the show. By the time we get to that week, December 23rd to January 1st, are there going to be more uninsured than insured? Is the table going to be turned against Obamacare?
Absolutely, Larry. I mean, this house of cards that is Obamacare is falling down already. The problem is the whole thing was based on the scheme that there are young people who are healthy to sign in so you have a balanced insurance risk pool. And then those people, by paying into the system, would take care of the uninsured who are older and unhealthy. Well, this whole thing has fallen apart because the young people are not signing up in droves. In fact, a Harvard poll yesterday showed half of them are against Obamacare and only 20% of the uninsured who are uninsured and young say they're going to sign up for it.
We're going to cover that. I mean, you're right. You're dead right. We have a bunch of college folks who are going to talk about that. But let me go, Steve McMahon. Let me go to you.
I thought we were going to be on the college panel, Larry. I mean, we're going to. This is the grown-up panel.
Next time. This is the adult panel. Anyway, here's the thing. There's politics here, and there's healthcare economics, right. Steve. I don't understand how you're ever going to get the balance. 4 to 5 million cancellations. The website is not finished. Many people, most people, can't make the payment for full enrollment, and that means they're not going to be counted as people who are insured. How do you get around that?
Well, Larry, listen, we've talked about this before. There's no question that the rollout has been a mess. There's also no question that the website's only been working properly for about 2 or 3 days, and there are a number of people who have gone on and had a good result. The 5 million people who were supposedly canceled were all offered other policies, so we don't actually know how many of those people have insurance or lost insurance. We do know, and you're right, that it's going to require young people getting involved and getting signed up in order for the risk pools to work. And in those states where they actually are running it as a state exchange, the experience with the young people coming in has actually been not quite as good as people were hoping for, but not nearly as bad as the Republicans and the Washington Times and others are projecting. So let's give this a little bit of time to work. You know, the Medicare prescription drug benefit wasn't very popular at the beginning, and then people had some experience with it, and now you couldn't pry it out of their hands.
Emily, why? No, go ahead, please.
Well, Larry, I know you're going to say, too, speaking of Medicare, so Obama raided $700 billion out of the Medicare system, which is already going bankrupt, as you well know, in order to pay for Obamacare. So all these elderly people are finding out, and especially it's coming out of Medicare Advantage, they're finding out that they're getting kicked off their Medicare Advantage plans, and that means they can't keep their doctors. So we had 2 promises this president made in 2009. And in 2010, when he knew it wasn't true. You can keep the plan. If you like your insurance plan, you can keep it. If you like your doctor, you can keep it. Neither of those is true. And it's not just for the unemployed. It's for the elderly. It's for the people in employer plans. It's for everyone. I mean, this whole house of cards is affecting all Americans. And that's why you see Obama's poll numbers plummeting.
I hate to sound like a Republican economist, but just let me for a second. The $700 billion that the Republicans talk about being cut from Medicare actually is $700 billion that won't be spent on Medicare because the provider's reimbursement has been diminished over a period of time. You know, the Republicans talk a lot about how they want to rein in health care costs because, after all, that's the real problem here. And what the president did was what Paul Ryan's budget actually called for. And now the Republicans are critical for it.
Right. That's, you know, just to end this thing, look.
You're with me on this, right, Larry?
Well, no. I think your hypothesis is right. I don't think at the end of the day they're going to take the $700 billion out of Medicare. That's number one. Number two, to Emily's point, a lot of that is coming out of Medicare Advantage, which is very popular. So I think this is part of the financing mystery of how Obamacare is going to wind up being paid for. Now, we don't have time
tonight. It's going to wind up being paid for by the taxpayers.
They may have to come back for more. I don't think they're going to get it. This is another segment. I appreciate both of you making those points. Steve McMahon, Emily Miller, thank you.